proudly presents the Coldwater High School Cardinal Marching Band. With Flag Captain Nicole Anderson and Flag Lieutenant Becky Shaw. And our drum majors for 1998 are Senior Lisa Kontowski and Junior Cody Rocky. Please stand and join the Cardinal Marching Band as we salute the Cardinals with the Coldwater High School loyalty. Now like to welcome our guests from Marshall. And join the Cardinal Marching Band in the performance of our national anthem.
Joe Cargo's got a pretty good leg. Looking at him during the pregame warm-up, were you?
He's kicking it from the 50, and it was well into the end zone. So I would imagine a young man's kicking off from his 40. We'll probably see it come down around the 10 to the 5 somewhere.
Chris Jarvis, Doug Howard back to receive for the Cardinals. We're underway now at Cardinal Field. Marshall against Coldwater, high end over end. It's going to come down to Howard at the 5. 10, to Jarvis. He's out to 20, gets a block, 25-30 coming down the near sidelines. Is Jarvis out to the 30-yard line where he is knocked out of bounds. So pretty decent field position for the Cardinals. So we'll see what kind of butterflies Andrew Bailey has for the Cardinals. Starting quarterback again tonight in place of Marshall. The Cardinals come out with that full house backfield. 1st and 10. We're just underway at Cardinal Field. And this play is going to go to Reed on the left side. Pick up of 5, maybe 6 yards.
Just all that was just a little handoff of power going to the left side. Running off from Anthony over there. And I believe it's Parker. That's that left guard. No, excuse me, it's Renner. But just a good play. Pick up a 5 yards.
Out to the 37-yard line. That's where the spot is. Marshall with a 5-2 defense. They're trying to stun, almost step offsides. And there we did. We did get the offside, so they were stunning, and then they moved into that neutral zone, so that'll help the Cardinals. It'll make it 2nd and 1.
They had 4 down linemen, but they had 2 people up on the line of scrimmage, and they also look like they have a monster. And that time, a monster being the extra back, and they put him over on the right defensively, our left side, and that may be just close, short of a first down. Looks like where they're going to put it down.
Defensive captain for the Redskins calling the signals.
Measuring it right away.
Ben Steinbaugh, 6'2", 210 pounds. He's the middle linebacker, and they send the Cardinals back to the huddle.
That might have been a first down. I mean, because we started just outside of the 31, and
about
that's just outside of the 41. Half a football.
We got a first down, so mistake by the Redskins. Offsides gives the Cardinals their initial first down of the game. And
the big sophomore, number 68, was a man offside on this side. He just moved in from Virginia, transfer in. 6'4", 240, 10th grader. 14 years old.
Mike Marco. We might hear that.
Wonder why you couldn't find a spot for him.
Might hear that name for a few more years. So the Cardinals 1st and 10. No score underway here in the first quarter, and it's going to be Reed once again up the middle. Pick up of 2 or 3, and Rusty was questionable coming into tonight's game with that. I said, I misspoke earlier, said that Partial had the thigh bruise, Partial with a leg injury, and it is Rusty Reed with the deep thigh bruise, but so far seems to be running okay. We'll just check your stamina as we go through the game tonight. You called it right as far as what the play package would be for the Cardinals here to start out the game. Nothing fancy. You want to get Andrew those early snaps here to get his confidence up. Cardinals 2nd and 8, the ball on their own 44-yard line.
Comes the backers. Jarvis get outside.
Jarvis gets a nice block there in the middle. He cuts back here to the near side, has some room. 50, he might go 40, 35, 30, 20. He's got a touchdown. Chris Jarvis scores for the Cardinals with 10:15 left here in the first half, and we're going to call that a run of 56 yards. So that's a great start for the Cardinals. They're going to go for 2. Full house backfield. Bailey's going to get a handoff, Reed up the middle, and he goes in. So perfect start for the Cardinals. 10:15 left here in the first quarter. Our score, Coldwater 8, Marshall nothing. This Reese on the far side. We look for maybe Treese to take this kickoff. We'll see whether it's going to come to him, but it's going to go end over end low. Going to come up to one of the upbacks at the 30, 35, 40, out to about the 42, 43-yard lines. Picking up that kick was number 43, and that's Richard Baker, a 5'11", 195-pound junior fullback and linebacker. In on the tackle, Joey Wright. We'll see what the Cardinals can do now on the defense. An explosive, at times explosive Marshall offense. Couple of great receivers and also very capable running backs as they send the wide receiver out to the far side, and that's Matt Klein, and 2 wide receivers out there, Treese and Klein. I formation lining up behind. Kelly goes to the deep back, and that's Van Dyke, and he goes nowhere. He's down
that's Anthony,
quickly.
Baby.
And McKean also cleaning up on that tackle. So great reaction to the Cardinals on the first play on defense.
Everybody we played seems to have bigger linemen, but they're not as quick as we were. And Anthony is probably by far our quickest lineman, and he just beat the guard on the backside and met the man behind the line of scrimmage and dropped him for a half-a-yard loss. A real big key is going to be post on defense for us because of the fact that he's playing at that safety, and it's a new spot for him. They had to move him from a corner to get him back there to take over for Porter.
No gain, 2nd and 10. Marshall trails here in the early going by a score of 8-0. Kelly with the option. He keeps, cuts back inside. He gets out to about the 43-44, and there's Anthony once again right on top of things along with Joey Wright. So that'll set up third down. Also. Third down and about 7 for the Redskins.
That's the option that the big guy Van Dyke ran last year and did so well with it. We all know he's up at State, and he's on the injured reserve or injured right now. But
he played last week.
Oh,
His recovery's back against Central. He got in some mop-up time in the fourth quarter.
Good, he came back. But Shook played that option good. Coldwater's in a 4-4 defense right now.
Split wide receivers this time for the Redskins. 3rd down and 8. Kelly drops back to pass, rolls out to the far side, staying in the pocket. Now he's out there, and he gets some heavy pressure and took a big hit. But the pass is incomplete, or is it good?
No.
It
I
is
guess he did
complete on
complete it, but
the
boy,
far
he paid
sidelines.
the price.
Yeah.
Shook drilled him. He's slow coming up. He's still at the 40-yard line while his team's at the 47. I mean, he got blistered on that baby.
So some great concentration by Kelly, knowing that he is going to get popped big time, and the receiver was on the far sidelines at about the Coldwater 37-yard line. So a nice reception, and the Redskins turn that into a first down, and they now are in Cardinal territory. 1st and 10 on the Coldwater 37-yard line. Split wide receivers in the I formation lining up behind Kelly, the quarterback. Takes the snap, hands off to the up back. Burns the fullback, breaks a tackle, 30, 25. Stood up at about the 20-yard line, pushed back, so he ran into a couple of Coldwater tacklers. Big hits there by Doug Howard, but also a first down for the fullback, Burns. Shane Burns, 5'8", senior, 185 pounds.
Broke his helmet. He's got to have a new helmet.
So that signals what kind of rivalry we have here tonight.
Those are 2 of the biggest hits we've had all year right there, back to back. But what a great run by that young man, Burns. He come in there and hit the line of scrimmage, and he stopped and he spun. He just turned and did a complete 360 and went to the outside, and then Howard met him head up and put him on his back.
So Marshall trying to answer Coldwater's early quick score. They're on the Cardinal 21-yard line, 1st and 10, 8:21 left here in the first quarter. The Cardinals up 8-0. Kelly takes the handoff, gives to Van Dyke in the deep back on the I. It's on the right side of the line, gets down to about the 15. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, that time they double-teamed Anthony, get him out of there, and Aaron Gleason to get him out of there, and ran right over the big tackle on that side.
Big tight end checks in for the Redskins. He's been bringing in the play a couple of times, and that's Seth Schubert, 6'5" and 190. And actually, he's a wide receiver, comes out here to the near side along with Treese on this 2nd and 5 for the Redskins at the Coldwater 16-yard line.
There's confusion.
Kelly gives the handoff to the D-back. Van Dyke has room up the middle, breaks tackles, he'll score. Touchdown for Marshall with Van Dyke, a 16-yard run. And see if they're going to go for 2. We know that they've got a great place kicker, but I'll imagine they're going to go for 2 here to try and tie it up.
Yeah, there was confusion. Leonard was on the wrong side, and then by the time he got over onto his side, we had, I'm not sure who it was that was running 42. Ziegler was trying to get over here, and we just didn't have anything.
Kelly with the snap. Receivers are covered. He tries to find someone down the middle, and it is good. Treese with a great catch. He had to go down low on the end of the end zone down the middle, but he is able to bring it in, and we're tied. 7:34 left here in our first quarter. Argo gets ready to kick off for the Redskins. Jarvis and Howard back deep for the Cardinals. Here comes the kick. Nice end over end. This one will go to Howard. 10, 15, 20. A little bit of a seam at the 25, and then he's corralled at about the 28-yard line for the Cardinals. Cardinals now 1st and 10 on their own 29-yard line, coming out with that familiar full house backfield. And the Redskins are offside, so that's the second time tonight that Marshall jumped offsides on the Cardinals' first possession. They racked up their initial first down when the Redskins were on offsides, and they're there again. That just makes it all the easier for the Cardinals. Andrew Bailey looking over the defense, a little longer count this time. This handoff goes to Reed, and he's hit hard right at the line of scrimmage. Number 81 is there. We called his number a little while ago, coming in on the offense, and he also plays the linebacker on defense. That's Seth Schubert for the Redskins, so not much gain that time for the Cardinals. It's going to set up 2nd and about 4.
Rusty, they just didn't have a lot of room that time because they packed it in there. They got 9 people right up within about 4 yards of the line of scrimmage. Now they got 8, and they got 3 deep.
Well,
got 6 men down, 2 up, and 1 outside.
Bailey fakes a couple of times, hands here to the near side. Breaking some tackles is going to be Doug Howard. A nice run by Howard for the first down as he was hit initially at about the 37. Put his shoulder down and then got out across the 40 out to about the 42-yard line. They moved the chain. 6:45 left here into the first quarter. We're tied up at 8-all.
Very impressive ball handling right now by Bailey. A couple of fakes and then gave it to the last man, and the hole was there. And like you said, bumped somebody and then rolled it over and turned it into a first down. And that's what you got to have from the young man.
And what you like is that he has some experience. He didn't have to come in just cold tonight. He was able to have some experience in the fourth quarter and a couple of the Cardinals' big victories. So the Cardinals have first and 10. It'll be Rusty Reed hitting the left side of the line. And Cardinals' offensive line so far tonight getting a good push on that Marshall defense that time. You saw that the Cardinals had the advantage. They get out across the 45 to about the 46. Good pickup on first down once again of about 5.
Coldwater scouted us well because every time after the ball is being handed off, somebody is in the face of our quarterback, Andrew Bailey. So we may not see him do any running at all tonight.
Strictly a ground attack so far for the Cardinals as we expect. They've got a fumble, but just very quickly, Bailey covers it up. In fact, I don't even... Well, it might have been on the ground, Doug, but it almost looked like he realized that he wasn't going to get the handoff as he turned. He almost bumped into the running back, and so he just pulled it right back in and sat down. He's going to get a loss of about 2 yards. And
now they're going to go with Howard at quarterback and bring McKeon in. So they're in a passing situation. They haven't quite got the confidence in Andrew yet. And that may loosen up Marshall a little bit.
Got Shook and Bolton as the tight ends in tight. Maybe we'll
Didn't loosen them up too much.
Oh.
9 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 8 for the Cardinals, and it's going to be Howard on the run. A keep as he hits hard and then is pushed down and tried to struggle for it for a couple of more yards, but he's going to be stopped short of the first down, short of midfield at about the 48-yard line, and the Cardinals are going to have to punt it away, so the Marshall defense stiffens here, and that's what the Cardinal defense is going to have to do likewise when they give the ball back up to Marshall right now with 4:52 and counting here in the first quarter.
Well, they're going to realize that now when Howard comes in, that the option's going to be available there for the quarterback to run. Kind of a tough situation for him, but he did just about pick up the first down, came within 2 yards, 49-yard line, and going to punt.
Treese back deep to receive. He's at his 15, but we got whistles and flags down.
Might be too long. Or we got movement on the line of scrimmage, yeah.
Well, either way, that's the movement call. 5 yards. Coldwater will march back. And, you know, if you're going to get that kind of a penalty, it's a good time to get it 4th down. It's not going to hurt the Cardinals much at this point. So they'll move it back inside the 45 at about the 44-yard line. And so Howard will just move back a few more yards, take this snap at about his own 32-yard line.
Treese is deep for Marshall. He's got pretty good speed. Well, he's way deep. I don't think he can kick the ball that far.
He's at his own 15-yard line.
Holy smokes, he's back there.
And here comes the snap. It's away, and it's
a good roll.
It's a spiral, a short, low spiral, and it does get a little bit of a Coldwater roll, and then they're going to down it at the 34-yard line. So that's where Marshall will take over. Pretty good field position for the Redskins. We got Klein and Treese split as wide receivers. The deep back is Van Dyke. Burns the up back. Kelly hands off to Burns. And we have a flag on the play. Yeah, that's probably what it is, right in that vicinity at about the 45-yard line where Burns goes down. So Marshall not the sharpest here tonight in terms of execution. This is, if it is going to be that holding call, would be the 3rd penalty against the Redskins. They had twice gone offsides, and now they have a major penalty. It's going to be a hold on the offense. Redskins need to get up to their own 44-yard line and pick up a first down. They're on their own 28. 4:07 left here in the first quarter. We're tied at 8. Wide receivers are split for the Redskins. Kelly up to the line of scrimmage, looking over the Coldwater defense. Drops straight back in the pocket. A little bit of screen out here to the near side. It's going to come to Van Dyke. He's at the 25 and 30. Nice and a nice reaction by the Cardinals. We'll see who gets up off the ground there with the tackle. Yep, Ziegler it is. They read that well. It looked like it was going to initially set up pretty well for the Redskins, but the Cardinal defense stayed home and a pickup of about maybe 2 or 3 yards.
You know, we're We're not very big, but we are quick, like I said, and that's a sign of that, because they did have that set up, and Ziegler came across, and they did pick up about 4 or 5, but still, it's second and long. And right here's a big key down for them.
Second and 15. Receivers now, both of them split out to the far side. A fake draw. Kelly rolls out to the far side. Pump fakes, gets the ball away, and it's going to be complete out to the 40-yard line. So they're getting closer to that yardage. Taken back after the penalty out to about the 40. So that's going to set up third and about 5 for the Redskins. Schubert and Treese out here to the near side on this big third down play. At 3rd and 5, it's going to go to the deep back, and coming out, stopped short of the first down. He will not get it, is B.J. Van Dyke. He's out to about the 40, 43 and a half. Maybe he needs to get past the 44-yard line. Matt Shook and a couple of other Cardinals there in on the tackle. So we have now 4th and short. Look for the Redskins to go for it here. Yeah. We're tied up at 8-8, 2:41, 2:40. The clock moving down here in the first quarter. The ball is just short of the 44-yard line, and the Redskins come out of the huddle.
Probably a sneak, I would imagine. Can't imagine handing that ball off to anybody when you only got about 6 inches to go. And he's got a big center right there in front of him.
And it's going to be a quarterback sneak straight up the middle, and looks like Kelly's going to be able to pick up enough yardage. He got up to at least the 45-yard line, it looks like.
That's right where he marked it, just outside the 45.
Aaron Gleason in on the tackle for the Cardinals. Joey Wright also there for Coldwater. And Cardinals have not yet stopped the Redskins. They moved down and picked up that touchdown, and they're moving again here. Even though they were pushed back and had first and more than 20 to go after that holding penalty, did not deter the Redskin offense. They're on their own 45. Kelly drops back, pump fakes. Comes back here to the near side. He's going to be rushed here. Goes down. He slides down. He slipped as he was about ready to get slammed there by Torres.
Torres, 36. Yep. Nice job by Torres. Didn't let him get outside. He had good back pressure by Aaron Gleason. Aaron's celebrating a birthday today. He'd like to do nothing better to get a couple of sacks, get a couple of big hits, take care of business on his birthday, and get a Cardinal win.
About a loss of about 10 yards, maybe a little bit more than that. We'll call it second and about 21 for the Redskins as they send out Schubert and Treese to the far side.
Watch a draw. They like to play that a lot, too.
A little bit of a slot this time. Pitch goes to Van Dyke. Cardinals have good penetration, and he goes down right at about the 36-yard line. Let's see who's over there. We've got Anthony getting up from the pile.
And I believe Ziegler was over there, too, and also Shook. Right.
So good pursuit. That's it, the quickness factor that you pointed out early in the game. I was rattling off all those big linemen for Marshall, and in the back of your mind you're thinking, okay, well, we've seen that before over the years, Doug. I think quickness has been
Harper was bigger than we were, and we handled him well for 3.5 quarters. I mean, they wear you down, but I mean, we're as good as they are right now.
3rd and 19. Cardinals have a history of getting burned on 3rd and long. Let's see if they can contain the Redskins here. Man in motion here to the near side is Treese. Kelly rolls back in the pocket. He looks for Treese down long. Klein. He's open, and he catches it all the way down to the Coldwater 31-yard line. Treese now out to the far side. Man in motion is Schubert. 1st and 10, just one single back, and that's going to be Burns. Breaks.
Nice play.
Through the line, but then brought down. There he is, getting off the ground. It's been a whale of a game so far for Nick Anthony as he stopped Burns for maybe a gain of about 2. It looked like Burns had some clear sailing on the left side there for a moment, but Anthony brings him down. 2nd and 8, and Marshall has been grinding out some yardage, but their real weapon so far when they really needed to pick up some yardage, it has been the pass. And we have come to the end of the first quarter, a very entertaining first quarter for these two teams here tonight, both 3 and 2. As Marshall and Coldwater are tied at 8. And we're back here at Cardinal Field, 8-8, a tie score at the end of the first quarter. The Redskins now 2nd and 2. They are on the Coldwater 29-yard line. Kelly drops back to pass, comes back here to the near side. On the sidelines, passes up in the air, and it is incomplete. A couple of Cardinals are over there. Lenhart, along with Fost in the territory. The intended wide receiver was that big split end Schubert. And
dropped off Reed that time for the coverage, too, and that's so we had 2 gentlemen on the big guy, but yeah, he's free to roam and free to set up.
And looking to get free is Van Dyke. Comes here to the near side. He'll have a first down as he is tackled from behind by Joey Wright down to about the 22-yard line. That's not a first down, excuse me. It's going to be 4th down coming up now for the Redskins. It's going to be 4th and about 2.
Yeah, Joey played that pretty well. I mean, he's got good instincts, and he reacts real well. He's a little slow of foot, but that time he got outside there really well and brought him down from behind, short of the first down. Big play right here now. 4th and 2. The ball on the Coldwater 23-yard line. We're tied at 8. Just underway in the second quarter here tonight at Cardinal Field. It'll go to the deep back Van Dyke, and he pushes forward. He tried to just bull his way over the left side of that line, and a couple of Cardinal tacklers were there trying to make the stop, but looks like he might have it. Aaron Gleason, the lead tackler, but not enough, as he just pulled forward for just enough yardage to pick up the first down. So the chains move once again. 1st and 10 for the Redskins onto the Cardinal 20-yard line. Ziegler was also in on that stop, and I believe Wright too, along with Aaron, but just got it across the 20, good enough for the first down. 1st and 10 inside the 20, about the 19. Treese out to the far side. Klein here to the near side. Kelly, the quarterback, up to the line of scrimmage. He fakes into the line, rolls down the line, and he's going to run. Breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Cuts back to the middle. Has room in the middle. Has to break one more tackle. Gets into the end zone. What a run by Kelly. A 20-yard touchdown run by quarterback Trevor Kelly. Just making a couple of nifty moves. Torres had a shot at him, and he ran right through, and then he put a great move on the outside, and I believe it was McKeon to cut back against the grain. Redskins to go for one. Cargo with a kick. Plenty of room to spare. Perfect down the middle. So at the 10:43 mark remaining in the first half, the Redskins from Marshall 15 and Coldwater 8. Porter is definitely missed in that defensive backfield for the Cardinals. The Cardinals' leading tackler not on the field tonight. They could use him at this point. Marshall ready to kick off with Cargo. Ready to boot it away for the Redskins. Jarvis Howard back deep for the Cardinals. And he does boot it deep. And it's going to be taken by Jarvis. He fumbles it for a moment. He's at the 5. 10 gets one block from Howard. Breaks one tackle. Ball on the ground, maybe. No, he just slipped. Just slipped. Okay, look for a moment like a fumble, but it is going to be controlled by the Cardinals. And the Cardinals come out. Full house backfield lining up behind Andrew Bailey, the quarterback. And this time it will be Jarvis. Has a nice block. Cuts back into the middle. Has good yardage on first down. Out across the 20. No, the ball was dead. Ball came loose. Squirted out there right at the end, and just short of the first. We're out just across the 20. Well, they got to pick up a 2, but nonetheless, good 8-yard pickup on first down for the Cardinals. Call it 2nd and 2. We've got 10-10 left here in the first half. Howard's at quarterback. I don't know if you picked that up or not. So that means switch. McKeon's running at that halfback spot. McKeon, Reed, and Jarvis in the backfield for the Cardinals on this 2nd and 2. Looks like the Marshall defense loosening up just a little bit, and there's a handoff. Howard had a nice fake that time, but Rusty Reed's going to pick up the first down for the Cardinals out to about the 25, exactly on the 25 Bill Markin. So that's a big first down for Coldwater, backed up deep with their own 12-yard line. So now with a little bit of breathing room out to their own 25. I'm telling you, wherever our running backs are, there's always linemen down there at the bottom of the pile also, so they're down there too. That time it was Anthony leading the way on that off-tackle play by Reed. Ziegler now in one of the tight ends, along with Shook for the Cardinals on this 1st and 10. Marshall moving up a little closer now to the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be a running play up the middle. Rusty Reed, and he picked up a couple of yards maybe. Just about broke it. If he did, he had 3 men down there to throw blocks for him. They're up there so tight, if they can get through a gap, get through a line, and they guess wrong, we could have another big gainer. Doug Howard comes over, gets the play from Jamie Spray. 15-8, Marshall leading here in the second quarter. 8:56 remaining again in the first half. Cardinals break out of the huddle. All on their own 27. Same formation. 9 people inside of 5 yards. Jarvis comes here to the near side. He breaks through, and you called it, Doug. 40, 45, and oh man, just a shoestring tackle it was that time. Let me look. And who's number 72 for the Cardinals? He was out there with one of the leading blocks, because oh boy, it was just a whisper away from going again for another long run. Ball saved a touchdown. Steinball, 79, got him by the shoe tops. And he did.
So the Cardinals now moving to answer Marshall's second score of the night. What a great ball game. If you're listening on the radio, sitting around the house and can break away, come on out here to Cardinal Field and watch this one in person. 8:25 left here in the first half. Howard at quarterback still, and a pitch out here to the near side. Nice fake into the middle, and Jarvis is pushed out of bounds by Trace at about the 48. It was a nice fake by Rusty Reed into the middle of the line, and then the pitch. We haven't seen that one too often this season.
No, I tell you, the first time we saw it is when they brought the first ball game, I think it was, second home game when they brought in Howard at the halfback, and they ran partial, and partial pitched to him. First time on the field on offense. Jarvis looked it into his hands, looked like he bobbled it a little bit, but he stayed with it. Here, we're going to split him out a little bit. This is different.
Jarvis out to the far side for the Cardinals.
One-on-one coverage. He can beat this guy, and we get some chance to throw the ball. We might be able to get a touchdown.
2nd and 6, but it's going to be a handoff to Reed, and he's struggling just to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he also has to do a nice job to hold on to that ball as a couple of the Marshall tacklers were going for a strip that time, but Rusty hangs on, so this will be third now. 3rd and about 6 for the Cardinals. They're just short of midfield, trailing Marshall 15-8. We'll be on the road next week with more Twin Valley action for the Cardinals at Battle Creek Lakeview as the season starts to fly by. Game number 6 on the season here tonight, but a big third down for the Cardinals to keep this drive alive. Jarvis once again splits out to the far side, and we see McKean in the backfield now along with Rusty Reed as Howard's up to the line of scrimmage. Drops back to pass, goes out to Jarvis, a little flat pass. He'll have first down yardage, and he almost breaks it as he gets across the 45 down to about the 43 of Marshall, and that's not an easy one, Doug. Good timing, and you got to zip that pass out there quickly, and that's what Howard did to Jarvis.
And the key was Ziegler getting out to block, because Ziegler's got to get that first block, and Jarvis has got to come back inside of him to pick up the first down.
And you also like that the Cardinals are taking a little bit of time off the clock with this drive with a Marshall offense, which is just moving up and down the field very nicely. So we need to get it out of their hands and keep it in our hands, and that's what the Cardinals are doing. But they need to score also at the end of this drive, down by a score of 15-8. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals on the Marshall 44. Howard's going to give the handoff to Reed, and that line of scrimmage just collapses right there. We've got 3 Cardinal tacklers.
79 was right there, the same guy that stopped him, Steinball, I believe.
Parker trying to make the block. He gets off the bottom of the pile that time, but he was caved in there at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and about 8 for the Cardinals.
Steinball 6'2", 210.
Strong and quick.
Middle linebacker. He's a lot of times right up into the line.
Cardinals now back with a full house.
They've got that little number 1 upper. He's a sneaky little guy.
Howard does a couple of fakes and throwing for a loss in the backfield. Big hit, and that's Sherburne as he takes down Jarvis for a loss of 2 yards. Great penetration that time by the Redskin defense.
Yeah, they're just collapsed. I mean, they're like you say, they got 9 guys there, and they're coming, and we can only got few guys to block those. We're a little bit better with the quick hitters.
So what does the Coldwater coaching staff see to penetrate now? What can they attack the Marshall defense with here on 3rd and long, 3rd and about 11? They're on the Marshall 49-yard line. Coldwater trails by a score of 15-8 here in the second quarter.
Here they come again.
Fake into the line. Howard drops back, has protection. He's hit as he lets it go, and the pass may be scooped up. Reed at about the 42, 43 yard. Ziegler, the tight end, but well short of the first down. Some good penetration that time by the Marshall defense, and the Cardinals are going to have to kick it away. Let's hope that we can get a good kick here and maybe pin the Redskins back deep. 5:23 left here in the first half.
Our Post is doing our kicking because Partial normally does the kicking. That also hurts you a little bit. And last time he put it off the side of his foot.
Post to take the snap at his own 45-yard line. That's a good snap. Gets this one away a little better. It's at the 20, takes a high bounce in the air, and the Cardinals down it. That was kind of a dangerous bounce. The Redskins did a nice job getting away from the ball before it was finally covered up by Renner of the Cardinals. So 1st and 10 for Marshall, up 15-8. We're inside of 5 minutes left here in the first half. I formation lining up behind Kelly, and he's going to give to Burns, the fullback, and he busts off a couple of tacklers, but then the Cardinals are there quickly to cover up a gain of maybe a couple of yards at the best. Brant Ziegler
Reed hit him first, and he spun off Reed, and Ziegler was right there and also hammered him.
Anthony also in the vicinity, so Burns picks up 3 very hard-earned yards that time on the run.
Whole thing about it is when they go long, they can put the ball up in the air, and that's where they've killed us, basically.
Sherburne and Treese split out to the far side for the Redskins on this 2nd and 8. On their own 21-yard line, Kelly drops back to pass, has protection. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. There's room up the middle, and there's also a flag on the ground. This one's probably going to come back, but Kelly's making the most of it anyway as he's out across the 42, about the 42-yard line, where he takes a big hit from Rusty Reed.
And we got a hold way back in the backfield. Guy reached out and grabbed our man. I saw that. So I think they grabbed Gleason. I think Gleason was the one putting the pressure on him. Either that or he and Anthony. They're both in the backfield so much. And 69 and 62, sometimes you got to look right at them to see who it was. You know, they've always been known for a screen. They've always been known for a draw.
Second and about 22 for the Redskins.
You always come hard, and you got to make sure you got it. And there it was. Right there's the draw.
Van Dyke, not much room. Gets out maybe a couple of yards. Torres there for the tackle. Shook also in the vicinity for the Cardinals. So it'll be 3rd and long. Here we go, 3rd and long. Earlier, the Cardinals, they had the Redskins pinned 3rd and long. They had about 3rd and 19, and they had the long pass to Treese down the sidelines, a pickup of about 25. And Treese now comes out here to the near side for the Redskins.
You gamble and send somebody.
Leonard out here to cover him.
Let's watch right.
Kelly sends another man in motion here to the near side.
Here they come. Here they come.
Drops back to pass, rolls out here to the near side, and he's got Treese out there wide open once again, and he's hit out of bounds, but he has the first side. Doug
Leonard's playing right up on the line of scrimmage, but then you got Howard behind him, and he's got responsibility for half the field. Another draw.
Single back is Burns back there. He breaks some tackles out across the 40, and he gets up to near midfield and near first down yardage. For the Redskins, Rusty Reed finally stopping Burns, the fullback. And they probably will measure here if they don't give him the first down.
No, he's short.
Just right at the 45. Needs just to get across the 45, so it'll be 2nd and short for the Redskins. They're up by a score of 15-8. Very fast-moving first half. We're down to 2:40.
Good play to throw
here in the
long.
2nd quarter.
Good play to throw fast.
Well, let's look at
single back.
Treese here to the near side. He's been the big weapon on the receiving core for the Redskins. As Kelly drops back, he's going to look for Treese, and it's going to be to the short up back, though, at midfield, and that's going to be Sherburne. The wide receiver on the other side just cuts right across. Jake Leonard in on the tackle along with Rusty Reed. And Kelly is so dangerous. I mean, he just rolls around in the pocket there and looks at his receivers, and he can run with the ball. He's done that already as he sent Treese in motion to the far side, but this will be a handoff to Burns, and Anthony collapses that one. Nice tackle as Burns just gets across midfield. Pickup of a couple of yards.
Also, Ziegler.
So it'll be 2nd and about 8 for the Redskins. As the clock now inside of 2 minutes. And I won't be surprised again to see them go to Treese. Maybe the Cardinals can get him covered this time. We'll see where he goes. He's going to come here to the near side. Leonard will go out there to meet him. Klein goes to the other side. He hasn't seen the ball much tonight. Kind of a decoy, and it's going to be Burns, the single running back for the Redskins. Kelly up to the line of scrimmage. This will be a pass play. Drops back to pass. Pump fakes once in the pocket. He's going to be hit and dropped by Torres. What a great move by Torres as the pump fake came from Kelly, and he's dropped all the way back to his 42-yard line.
Good defense. Good backside pressure by Torres. They had him covered. They hit Treese coming off the line of scrimmage to knock him off. We had good coverage by Howard at that time, and Torres just kept the pressure on and came up with a stop.
We're going to take a timeout. That's what Marshall just did. So here we are, familiar territory for the Marshall Redskins. 3rd and long. We'll call it 3rd and 15. They're on their own 43-yard line. They lead Coldwater 15-8. Treese on the far side. Actually, now he's going in motion to the far side. Kelly looking over the Coldwater defense. He rolls to the far side. He's under some pressure, but it's going to go to Treese long. He's going down the sidelines, but the Cardinals are going to intercept.
Nice play that time. He stayed with him, followed him on down, and kept his eye on the ball, kept his eye on the quarterback, had good coverage. We had double coverage. 40 yards of error, if that's what you want to know.
Well, it was a little, yeah.
I mean, that man.
I guess it's kind of hard to rope at 40 yards.
I'll tell you what, he threw the ball well.
And it's going to be Howard at quarterback now for the Cardinals. 1st and 10, the ball on their own 18-yard line.
Comes the backers again.
Well, they're just so
There's
close
Reed.
to the
There's
line.
Reed.
He's breaking free. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and he gets across midfield. There's picking up a big chunk of yardage that the Cardinals need when you only have about a minute left in the first half. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. Reed rumbles.
And we got our 3 timeouts also. And Jamie takes one.
Now they're at midfield, 1 minute left there behind. And a quick pitch here to Jarvis, and he is quickly met by number 33 of the Redskins for no gain as he just got back to the line of scrimmage when he is met by Justin Beglin, 6 foot, 185-pound linebacker. Well, they had good penetration there, Doug. That's one of those ones where you pitch and you see it sometimes where the guy on the defense is there about the same time the ball is pitched, but wasn't quite quick that time. But anyway, for the Cardinals, 2nd and 11, they lose a yard on that play. 32 seconds, 31 and counting as the time quickly runs out here in the first half. And dropping back to his pass is Howard, and just underthrown as he had the receiver out here in the flat was McKean, and he was open at about the Marshall 44-yard line, and Doug did a nice job to get rid of that ball. Big pressure coming into him, but at least it stops the clock with 24 seconds left on 3rd and 11 again for the Cardinals.
One of those deals where you want to got it in there. He's so wide open instead of giving a lot of air and let him run to catch it. And he's not used to stepping in there and throwing the ball. He's stepping in there to run that option, the quarterback keep, and handing it off. So
we're going to split Jarvis to the near side now. With
this is scary over here with Van Dyke guarding him.
Howard up to the line of scrimmage, looking over the defense. He drops back, has some good protection in the pocket. He's going to go long to Jarvis down here. It's a toss-up in the air. It's going to be intercepted by Treese as that ball was underthrown, and Treese had a good beat on it at about the 20-yard line, and he intercepts right there, and that'll end the Cardinal threat with 16 seconds left in the first half.
Got a personal foul against Coldwater. I think it looked like a trip, or the way he gave his motion. Somebody missed a block maybe and thought, well, if I slide my leg out there, maybe they'll fall over it. And the official was right there and threw the flag at the 47 of Coldwater. I would think with 16 seconds that Marshall will keep the ball.
And they'll decline and take the
ball back, right? They'll
Klein and Trees here to the near side.
81 yards on some Mickey Mouse deal for a touchdown.
Burns, Van Dyke in the eye behind Kelly.
Ran around going the other way.
Going to Treese. Rusty Reed is up there. He gets a little shoe tackle, and then the Cardinals will clean up with McKeon, and that ought to end the first half as we see the final seconds tick off, and that will be the end of the first half. Oh, no, excuse me, timeout. 2 seconds left. Marshall wants to run one more play. So the Redskins now have Kelly dropping back. Rolls out. He's under pressure now. Shook after him. And there was also one of the other Cardinal tacklers getting the pressure on there.
Torres, too.
Yep. So Torres and Shook.
And Gleason.
So Kelly unable to get away. A last-second Hail Mary to end the first half. He goes down. But the Redskins go into the locker room with the lead. Well played first half. Very entertaining ball game here tonight, living up to its advanced billing between these two teams that have 3-2 records with 1 loss each in the Twin Valley. We're ready for second half action. Marshall 15, Coldwater 8. Doug Howard ready to kick it off. Treese and Moss back deep for the Redskins, but this punt will come down low and come here to the near side to Moss. Picks it up to the 20, 25, and then he's bowled down to the ground by right at the 30-yard line. That's where the Redskins will start out first. Treese out to the far side on this formation with the I-backs lining up behind Kelly and spinning away from some tackles and turns, and then he gets a huge hit. That's the kind of hit you're talking about, as Rusty Reed said. Hello, right at the 38-yard line. Big hit. That's what we like to see for the first hit of the second half for the Cardinals. And let's give credit to Burns for holding on to that ball.
That's the same play that he ran last time. He came into the line. It was stopped. He spins. He comes off this way. Just rolls practically this way. Wanted to cut back in the middle, and Rusty said hello.
Oh, man, he sure did. So we'll call it 2nd and 2. A good 8-yard pickup for the Redskins, but they had to pay for it on that hit. This one's going to be fumbled on the ground by Kelly. I don't know what happened on that play. Maybe he was trying to hand off to Burns again, but a mix-up on that play and a loss of about 5 or 6 yards, so that really hurts the Redskins. They're going to move it back all the way almost to the 30-yard line. It was 2nd and 2, and now it's going to be 3rd and about 8 for the Redskins.
Well, he faked the handoff, and I think he was going to drop. He had 3 receivers going out. And when he pulled the ball out, it just slipped out of his hands. and went to the ground. And right there, I can't remember who it was there, but all they did was put a hand on him, but he was down as soon as he went down and recovered the ball.
Trips far side to the Redskins on this 3rd and 9. The ball on their own 31-yard line, just underway in the second half. Marshall up by a score of 15-8. Kelly rolls that way. Still rolling, goes to the short receiver, and it's complete to Sherburne out across the 40, out to about the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 as Leonard finally makes the tackle. He's a great target out there, Seth Schubert, 6'5" and 190, and he's got the first down.
Jeff's down here talking about the wide receivers going down, and I noticed that same thing when he came down to make a move. He pushed our man off, and that's what Jeff was talking to the line. He's talking to the wrong man, but the wrong man went out and told the back judge to keep an eye on that.
Again, 3 receivers out here to the near side, 1 single slot back. That's Burns. He gets the handoff, has some room, and he's out across the 45, out to about the 48-yard line, so we'll call it 2nd and 7. So the Marshall offense showing a different look here. Leonard in on the tackle that time for the Cardinals. It'll be 2nd and about 6.
I'm telling you, for a young man, 5'7", 130 pounds, this little Leonard guy sticks his nose in there. I mean, he came up and he put a good hit and brought him down.
Burns, a big fullback. He checks out now for the Redskins, and they're going with that same look again. A little slot back here to the near side, then the 3 wide receivers out here to this side. Now Kelly rolls out here to the near side. As time goes down the middle, passes up, and it's nowhere near anybody, all the way down to about the 20-yard line. Maybe more basic package for the Redskins, that I formation, 1 wide receiver to each side on this 3rd down as Kelly takes the snap, fakes into the line. He's going to run, checks back into the middle, and nothing. You're right there. Right
option.
Matt Shook stops Kelly, and that was the play that the Cardinals read perfectly, and Marshall will have to punt it away. So Coldwater answers on the defense. That's what they wanted to do, and Rusty Reed set the tone for it with that big hit, and the Redskins will have to punt it away.
Be nice to have a big run back and get good field position for the offense. The defense did their job. Bad snap, no rush.
Reed and Howard are back deep. It's going to be taken by Rusty Reed, 15.
Good haul.
Tackle, and he gets out at 20, out to about the 24-yard line for the Cardinals. And we'll have Doug Howard at quarterback, and we're going to have Steve McKean, Rusty Reed, and Chris Jarvis in the backfield for the Cardinals on this 1st and 10 as they try and tie this game up, trailing 15-8, and we've got movement on the right side of the Cardinal line, and so that's going to make it 1st and 15.
I think that might have been Parker, maybe.
Well, maybe Kokinis. The Cardinals minimized their mistakes in the first half, while Marshall was the most penalized. Let's hope that's the only penalty now that the Cardinals will incur here in the second half. 1st and 15 on their own 19-yard line. Full house backfield lining up behind Doug Howard, the quarterback.
Comes the linebackers.
Rusty Reed pick up 2, maybe 3. Just being very careful down here right now, and that's what the Cardinals, they want to protect, give themselves a little bit of room and get out of this position. Turnover here would be really, really bad, so you just hold on to the ball. Nothing fancy, just try and grind out some yardage and move the chains a couple of times.
Just once I would like to see that, where they fake that thing and he holds the ball on 1st down and brings it this way. Most of the time we're giving it, and then maybe the 2nd or 3rd time we come and they're looking for it because their scouts are seeing how wide open that is also.
Jarvis, Reed, McKean across in the backfield. This one's going to be Jarvis. Breaks. No, it's not Jarvis. A fake to Jarvis, and the Cardinals will see who the runner is finally.
Howard kept it. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, they play that one because they saw coming this direction. Howard was wide open. And they went the other way thinking they might catch him napping, but they were out there, and we got 3rd down and 13.
A loss of about 4 on that play, so Coldwater looking maybe to have to give it up 4 and out here if they don't pick up a 1st down, and 3rd and long has not been kind to Coldwater tonight, and Marshall is up again.
9 guys inside of a little bit better than that, about 6 or 7 yards now, but they keep creeping up in there. Here they come.
Coldwater on their own 20-yard line, and we're going to have a running play for the Cardinals, and nothing.
Them.
Stacked right in the middle of the line of scrimmage, so Coldwater's going to have to give it up. Couldn't move the ball after the defense. The Cardinals did a nice job stopping Marshall, and now they're going to have to give him right back.
Football looked like it was coming right into the old screen here, baby, but Came up a little short.
One of those young ladies got an arm to get it all the way up here?
Well, it looked like it. There's not many quarterbacks in that group.
Ooh, there comes one up there. The Cardinals going to have to punt it away now. Post to do the punting again for the Cardinals. He's on about his own 8-yard line. The Redskins will come out with this exchange. Excellent field position. Good snap. Plenty of time to get this kick away. It's a high one. Fair catch for the Redskins at their own 49-yard line. So they've got a short field to work with now. Pair of receivers split out here to the near side for the Redskins. And Kelly, who fakes into the line, rolls here to the near side, has plenty of time. A receiver is out there. Almost a one-hand catch that time by Treese. But big receiver Schubert out here to the near side. He's that 6'5 receiver. But this will be a running play to the deep back. Breaks some tackles at the 46 down about the 45-yard line, and that is Justin Beglin in now to running back, 6 feet even, 185-pound senior. 3rd and 4 for the Redskins on the Coldwater 46. The split receivers here to the near side. Pitch goes back to Van Dyke. Flag on the play, so this one will come back, and it's Beglin breaking tackles at the 30, gets down to the Coldwater 25-yard line before he's bowled down by Rusty Reed, and also 8 post in on the tackle that time, but this one's going to come back, and the Redskins have been prone to some holding, and that's what we look for.
That's what happened that time. They hooked, I think, a McKeon, and he again came up to put a hit on somebody, but he's hurting out there. Big play again. They got trips on the right. They got a tight end over here on the left. And one running back.
Kelly up to the line of scrimmage. Slot back, the running back on the far side. Kelly drops back to pass, rolls to the far side. He's got the receivers down deep under some heavy pressure, and this one's going to go down incomplete. So the Cardinals did a nice job on both sides of the defensive package. They got some pressure on the quarterback, and the defensive secondary also doing its job. So for the second straight time, the Redskins, who moved pretty much at will in the first half, find they going a little tougher here in the second half. And they're going to have to punt it away to the Cardinals, whose job now will be to try and move it on offense. Rusty Reed here to the near side, Howard to the far side to take this punt from the Redskins. It's a good snap. Gets it away. Nice tight spiral. It's going to be taken by Howard, and he fumbles the ball. Let's see who gets it. I think the Cardinals, the Cardinals did get it back, and I thought Howard was hurt for a moment, but he's okay, and it's Rusty Reed covering it up.
Bailey at quarterback. That'll move Howard back to tailback. I thought McKeon was hurting pretty bad.
Jarvis splits to the far side as a receiver this time for the Cardinals on this 1st and 10. Bailey's going to give the handoff, and it's going to be a big hit as Howard is punished in the backfield, the loss of about 2 yards.
Big 81 right there, man. That guy's been there. Schubert all day long.
So Howard, he goes from quarterback to running back, and right away he is greeted.
Yeah.
Bailey gets the call from Jamie Spray. Cardinals just unable to get anything on track here offensively in the second half, both times 4 and out.
They were overloaded on this side, so they were looking for him. Schubert's big in that middle, man. Now they're in a 53 with that monster up there on the line of scrimmage. 9 guys within 6-7 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Back to a full house backfield. Rusty Reed breaks tackles. Can he get to the outside? No. A nice job done by the Marshall tackler at about the 25-yard line. If Rusty could have got around the corner, maybe if he was at full strength, he might have had a little bit of an edge, but also there was another Marshall defender there if that tackle was missed. So the Cardinals will face 3rd and about 6.
Steinball on the stop on that one. That kept him from picking up that first down, and Howard goes to quarterback. McKeon back in at a tailback.
Shook the tight end on the far side. Ziegler the tight end here on the near side. Big 3rd down play. Cardinals could really use a pickup here to get the first down. Howard drops back to pass. Has a guy open here on the flat, but it's incomplete. In fact, he wasn't open. It was Shook was the intended receiver, and the Marshall defender there pounding the ground had a chance at an interception. That was Ben Tappenden. Boy, we're putting a lot of pressure on the Coldwater defense here, having to go back on in the field. Post gets the snap. This one's a little better kick, a little spiral into it. Oh, Rusty's now is in there. Good fake by the running back for Marshall. Takes it. There's a fumble. And the ball's on the ground. Looks like Torres was there. Well, also another Coldwater back, and now getting off the bottom of the pile with the recovery for the Cardinals. And doing the job for Coldwater is Taggart. So Coldwater, let's see if they can take advantage here. They get some good position out to the 42-yard line. And I was going to get the call on the running back for Marshall that took that punt at a nice move just as he reached midfield. And maybe sometimes that's when you get out in the open, Doug, that you don't you don't take care of that ball. And Cardinals popped it out of there. 4:17 and counting left here in the third quarter. Coldwater still trailing 15-8, but now they're going to try and do something about it. All the Marshall defense is again stacked up there to try and stop Coldwater's offense, which they've done here so far in the second half. And we have got Howard at quarterback. Gives to Jarvis. Has some room. Comes back to the middle of the field. 50, 40, 35, 30, 25 before he's finally knocked out of bounds. So there you go. And that's the play in which Coldwater scored with Jarvis. 56 yards out on the fourth play of the game. And he gets some big yardage again this time before he's finally knocked out of bounds by the Redskins. Doing the job on the tackle that time was Noah Wilson.
Well, I tell you, we got a lineman out there. Renner is having an equipment problem. Or no, he's having his, he's got asthma, so he's got the little can there he's going to be spraying himself. But we had Gleason's on the field now because Coquinas has got a helmet problem, and now we got a new guard in there, and that guard would be, I would imagine, be Griffin?
Gordon Lewis, I think.
Gordon Lewis, right. Gordon Lewis is in there. While Renner gets a breather here.
Full house backfield for the Cardinals. 1st and 10. They're on the Marshall 23-yard line. Reed, and a great penetration that time in the backfield. There he is, number 81 once again, and that is Schubert. Seth Schubert. He's very tough, 6'5", 190, and he had great penetration that time. And he's throwing Rusty for a loss of about a yard. Set up 2nd and 11.
Here comes Griffin, and here comes Coquinas back in. And Renner's still over here on the sideline.
Still time to come out. 3:25 left in the third quarter. Bring your radio out here to Cardinal Field and check out the rest of this ball game. These two teams battle at Cardinal Field. 2nd and 10 on the Marshall 23-yard line. And it's going to be to Jarvis.
Jarvis.
See, now you're picking up my, my habits there. Jarvis, he had a little bit of a seam, but it was quickly covered up. Pick up about 4. Sets up big third down play. Cardinals in 4-down territory here. Down at about the 18-yard line of Marshall.
This big play right here. Big play. Knock it in. Pick up that first bound and give us a shot.
Taggart leads the Cardinals out of the huddle. Howard now up under center. 3rd and 5. 2:33 left in the third quarter. The Cardinals trail 15-8, but they're knocking on the door. Back to pass is Howard. Flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be sacked back at the 25-yard line. So Marshall with the heat, able to convert, and it'll be...
I think Jarvis went too deep on his pass pattern. That's what Doug went over and told him, because if he'd have cut that off and let... I believe it was Ziegler was going to deep. If he'd have been short, we'd had a good opportunity to complete that. We may have to take a timeout here unless he hustles out there.
4th and 14 the Cardinals face. They're all the way back on their 26-yard line. Clock continuing to move late here in the third quarter. They hustle up to the line of scrimmage. You're going to send Jarvis out here as a receiver to the near side. We've got Reed lining up behind Howard, drops back to pass. Quick pass comes here to Jarvis. There's no blockers out there, and that means an immediate tackle by the Redskins. And putting down to Jarvis is Justin Moss. So Cardinals not able to completely take advantage of that turnover on the fumble on the punt, but they keep the ball away from Marshall for a little longer. They at least were able to pick up that first down with a long run by Jarvis, but unable to score. So it's Marshall still on top, 15-8, as they take over on downs with 1:33 left here into the third quarter. Coldwater defense doing a great job here in the third quarter. That was our score at halftime, 15-8, and there it remains as Redskins send one receiver out to the far side. Wishbone look now on the offense for the first time tonight for Marshall. And it's going to be a wishbone. They wish they didn't run that formation, as B.J. Van Dyke, who hasn't seen much carrying of the ball here in the second half, has stopped at about the 30-yard line. Aaron Gleason leading the Coldwater defensive attack that time.
New look. Veteran coach didn't show them all that look, so they didn't have time to make any kind of an adjustment, but I'm sure they've seen it on the film, and they knew what to do when they get a look like that. Well, we're going to go the same thing, only with the wide out here to the left, tight into the right.
That's Schubert, the wideout, but this run will be straight up the middle, and it's Burns with the carry, the fullback, out to about the 33.
Ziegler.
Yep. So it's going to be third and about 7. Cardinals stopping the Redskins on third down now twice here in the second half. And they're going to send their 2 wide receiver package back in, Treese and Klein. "30, 29, 28 seconds left here in the third quarter. Maybe the last play of the third quarter. The wide receiver split to the far side. I formation lining up behind Kelly. They look for him to roll out. He takes the snap, fakes the draw, rolls out to the far side. And it's going to go to
wide open.
Wide open tight end at about the 40-yard line, and he drops the ball, number 89 for the Redskins.
Yep.
Stops the clock with just 11 seconds left here in the third quarter as the Redskins get a good snap. They're going to punt it away to the Cardinals. Very high punt and a fair catch, and Rusty Reed's got to fair catch it and cover it up as he falls down to the ground at the 35-yard line. So we'll have one more play here in the third quarter. Also, just wind the clock could be the end of it, but no score here in the third quarter. Both teams hanging on, or the Redskins with that one fumble. Coldwater unable to convert. We're going to have Andrew Bailey come out at quarterback this time on this play for the Cardinals.
Yeah, McKeon comes out again to give him a little breather. And that puts Howard at the tailback spot. Let's pop one right away now.
Cardinals up to the line of scrimmage. There's those 9 guys for Marshall. Up close again on the defense. They're moving around just a little bit. Couple of fakes, and it's going to come here to the near side, and that's going to be Howard with the carry out across the 40 to about the 43. Pickup of about 7. They'll change ends of the field. Stay tuned. We got a great fourth quarter coming up. Our score, Marshall 15 and Coldwater 8. Jim Whelan along with Doug Johnson in the booth as Coldwater faces a 2nd and 4. They're on their own 43-yard line, trailing Marshall by a score of 15-8 as we're underway now here into the fourth quarter. Full house backfield for Bailey, the quarterback.
Reed.
Popped hole for Reed as he gets across midfield down to the 45. Finally tackled at the Marshall 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for Coldwater, and that offensive line for the Cardinals just doing a great job, getting a great push off on the ball as they move the chains.
Well, I tell you, this would give them so much confidence. They could take that baby down, take a lot of time off, pop that in there, get the 2-point conversion.
Because the defense is playing with a great deal of confidence right now.
And the fact is, that you got some people out there that have been called on to do the job, and they're doing the job right now. That's that's the key of any team, is the quality of those substitutes that are called to come in there and do a job.
Cardinals 1st and 10 on the Marshall 43-yard line. A little longer count this time by Bailey. A handoff goes here. It's going to be Reed breaking tackles. 35-30 down to about the 28. So Rusty starting to pile up the yardage here in the second half.
I'm telling you, and we've said it a lot of times, that it's just, basic blocking football and knowing what you're supposed to do and picking off people. Marshall's guessing wrong right now when they're coming with linebackers. We're guessing right with the offense. And you got Anthony, and you got Parker, and you got Brandon Taggart doing the number.
Cardinals 1st and 10 on the Marshall 27-yard line. Kind of a mix-up this time on the handoff. Cardinals do a nice job just holding on to it as Bailey was trying to give it to Reed. And they're just covered up quickly. We got a flag, a late
Here
flag.
We go. I think we got something against Marshall maybe. Either that or a Coldwater guy got upset because somebody was on him. But he was over there talking to the Marshall guy.
Well, this could be a crucial call here at this juncture of the game with 10:54 left in the contest. Coldwater driving. They don't want to go the other way and be penalized. 2nd and 10 on the Marshall 27. Let's wait for the call.
I'll tell you, he went right over to the big guy standing over there with both hands in front of him.
He's coming over to talk now to Coach Jamie Spray. We haven't seen the official go to the other side. This would indicate...
We're going backwards, baby.
All right, we are going north.
Right.
And so you hear the crowd reacting here tonight, and we've had some latecomers fill in the stands in front of us, and a good contingent from Marshall. They're not happy about that call as the ball's going to go inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line, so the big call goes against Marshall. They've been penalized heavily here tonight, some major penalties. This could be the biggest of them all. Sets the Cardinals in the red zone at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. 10:54 left in our game. Cardinals trying to tie this one up. They trail 15-8. Bailey has him set down at the 13-yard line. Running play to Jarvis. He's got some room to the corner. 10, down to about the 5, maybe the 6-yard line. We'll see where they mark it.
Boy, there's a lineman. There's Parker getting off the pile, who's down there leading the blocking along with Renner.
I thought when that play first started to break here to the near side that Jarvis had a V-line for the corner of the end zone, but Marshall recovered and prevented the touchdown, but good yardage on that first down of about 7 yards. The Cardinals now at the Marshall 6-yard line.
Back to the middle now. They're outside. Come back in there with something with Reed.
2nd and 3. Bailey looking over the defense. Gets the snap, and it's going to be Reed on the right side, and he's inside the 5, down to about the 4. Some very tough yards right there for Rusty Reed.
Close to a first down.
And we'll have 3rd and about a yard. Just inside the 5-yard line. Crowd trying to encourage the Cardinals. Haven't tasted victory against Marshall since 1986. And the kids in the backfield for the Cardinals putting the arms up saying, we love to hear the crowd get into the game. 3rd and 1. Bailey, hands off, up the middle. First down yardage for Coldwater.
Close to a touchdown.
Reed with the carry down to about the 1 maybe.
Inside.
There's the signal for the
1-yard line. Okay. Boy, I tell you, this is going to be great. Now he's going to move Howard to quarterback, bring McKeon in.
Cardinals doing a great job. Bailey getting a nice hand from a couple of the players here on the sidelines. And it's Howard now back in at quarterback. 1st and goal for the Cardinals just outside the 1-yard line. Full house backfield for Coldwater, trailing 15-8, but trying to change that right here. And it's touchdown for Coldwater. They're in the end zone. Rusty Reed, and this crowd is going nuts, and so are the Cardinal players on the sidelines, whooping it up. Let's see if the Cardinals can tack on 2 here. Howard in at quarterback. Reed with the carry.
No, it's a pitch, and he's in.
Jarvis, a great fake into Reed, and it's Jarvis that scores. He gets into the corner of the end zone, and the Cardinals do take the lead. They're fired up, and they should be. 8:52 left in the game. Coldwater 16, Marshall 15. Howard has it teed up. Will kick it off for the Cardinals. And let's go Cards. You hear the cheerleaders getting the crowd into the game. And this one's going to be a low one kept on the ground. He just covered up by one of the Marshall up men at about the 37-yard line. Cardinals coming into this game banged up tonight. A couple of starters not out on the field, Porter and Marshall, but the subs filling in admirably here tonight. Everybody playing a great game for Coldwater, up 16-15. 2 wide receivers out here to the near side. This will be a running play to Burns, the fullback. Has some yardage here on the right side across the 40 out to about the 44.
Anthony with a stop.
Clock not too much of a factor yet. 8:30, 8.5 minutes left here in the ball game.
They're going to go. I mean, they got to run the ball to keep us getting in there tight.
Treese Schubert, the receivers out here to the near side, and it'll be a running play this time too. A fumble!
We got it back! They stripped him at the line of scrimmage.
Justin Beglin was the running back for Marshall.
And I think Foss came up with it 44.
Second time in the second half that the Redskins have given it up. Earlier, the Cardinals could not convert on the turnover, but this time they are in Marshall territory with all the momentum now on to the Cardinal side, having just scored to take the lead, and they force the turnover. That was the key when we started the second half, Doug. You said turnovers would be the difference in the second half, and for the Cardinals, this may be it to be the difference that could sweep them to victory. But a lot of time left. 8:15 in the ball game. Coldwater up 16-15. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals with Doug Howard in at quarterback at the Marshall 49-yard line. Let's see how the line of scrimmage works out on this series. And for Coldwater, it is Reed. 40,
Touchdown!
35.
He's going to go all the way.
15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Reed, and he is in the end zone looking for some players to hug, and they finally reach him, and Coldwater is up 22-15.
Big play.
You had the... I don't blame you. You had the ultimate faith that Rusty was going to reach the end zone. You called it a touchdown at about the 15.
Ain't going to stop him. I mean, that man's a track guy.
Cardinals go for 2.
Jarvis.
He slips. He slipped right.
He got in. All right.
Boy, I thought,
slid her in there.
I thought that was at about the 5, and it was at the end zone where he slips down, and so he slides into the end zone. 2-point conversion. Coldwater 24. Marshall 15, 8:05 left in the game. This Cardinals take advantage of the turnover. They strip the ball. A couple of plays later, long run by Reed, and the Cardinals are up as Howard gets ready to kick it off to the Redskins.
A lot of credit to that offensive line.
Another low squibber on the ground. One of the upbacks for the Redskins. They're going to start out just about where they were on the previous possession. They're on their own 33, 34-yard line. Everything is building here for a possible Cardinal victory over the arch rival, a team that has been so tough to beat, the Redskins, who suffered a tough defeat last week to Sturgis. Sturgis was very emotional last week with their win over Marshall. This is going to be a running play as Burns breaks one tackle at the line, and he gets out across the 35 to about the 37. I was reading some of the accounts of that game, Doug, and Sturgis said they may have probably had to maybe as long a losing streak to Marshall. Marshall has really just dominated everybody in football here for seemingly a long time. As the Redskins break out, the 2 receivers out here to the near side, Schubert and Atrice. Kelly, the quarterback, up to the line of scrimmage, has him down. 2nd and 7 on their own 37, but they're staying option play. Kelly breaks one tackle, cuts back, out near midfield, out near the 45. That's where they'll mark it. He has a first down. Nate Fost finally making the tackle on Kelly. Kind of surprised, Doug, that they're not going.
No, there's still a lot of time there. I mean, every time you get the first down, the clock stops.
Plus, Coldwater has really started to cover up nicely in that secondary compared to what they were doing in the first half. Klein and Tree split out here to the near side.
They're going to hit you. They're going to pop you with one, though. They get you in that running mode. You got to play deep all the time. Not let anybody get behind you. Here they go.
Kelly will drop back to pass. Rolls out here to the near side.
Oh, what a hit!
Gets the ball away, but he is hit, and it's out of bounds and down on the ground after the big hit.
Joey Wright just drilled him.
And he's getting up slow.
We had Torres keeping him in, and Joey just kept coming and coming and coming, and he let her go, and he got drilled right in the midsection. Right in the midsection. That slows you down a little bit.
Yeah, he's slow. He's kind of put his hand back on his lower back, kind of pushing that in as he went back to the huddle. That's what we didn't have in the first half, as Kelly just consistently rolled away from the pressure, but not that time.
Come with a run now. Probably come back with a run a little bit.
2nd and 10 for the Redskins. 7:09 left in the ball game. And this will be a run. Goes to the deep back. That's Van Dyke. They try and strip the ball, but he pulls it away, gets inside the 50 down to about the 45 of Coldwater.
First down.
Rusty Reed with the tackle that time, and they should move the chains. I don't think they need to measure. First down for Marshall. Excitement continues to build here for both sides. Big following for Marshall across from us. High formation, goes to the up back, Burns into the middle of the line of scrimmage. Breaks tackles. I thought he was stopped at the 40. He squirms through a couple of Coldwater tacklers and gets down to the 36. So hold on, folks. Marshall moving now on the ground with 6:42 and counting. They're down to the Coldwater 36-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 2. High formation lining up behind Kelly, the quarterback.
Another chance to throw one.
Now they're going to stick on the ground, and it's going to be Beglin. He has a lot of room. One tackler to beat. It's Fost. Gets a hold of the jersey. But the running back breaks free anyway, gets inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 for Marshall, and they're marching down quickly now.
All that was is they spread everybody out, and then they came with that running back going to the left.
Beglin is the other running back, the deep back. Burns the fullback behind Kelly. It's going to go to Beglin once again, and this time he is met hard at the line of scrimmage. 3 Cardinal defenders there. Was making the penetration was Ziegler. Ziegler got into the backfield first, so the Cardinals stiffen a little bit on that play. 6:06 and counting. It'll be second down for the Redskins, second and about 7.
Got to hurry and get somebody off.
Rusty Reed coming off on the defense this time, and we've got an official timeout. Well, equipment problem by the deep back Beglin. I guess he didn't quite have his shirt. It was coming up near his shoulder pad, so the official sees that, spots it, and now we're ready to roll. Second and 7. Marshall trailing 24-15. They have the ball on the Coldwater 14-yard line. This will be a running play to Burns. Has room up the middle, cuts back. He's down the 5. Touchdown for Burns. A 14-yard touchdown run with 5:38 remaining. So Marshall with 21 now. 24-21. The Cardinals up by 3.
Got to remember now they got a good kicker. And then we got to pick up a few first downs. That was a nice run that time. Was that
Burns with a 14-yard touchdown run coming at 5:38. Cargo is the kicker for the Redskins. Joe Cargo. He's a senior, great leg. Kelly, the quarterback, will take the snap. Good snap. Kick is up, and it's good. So with 5:38 remaining, and we talked about a shootout, we got it here at Cardinal Field. Coldwater 24, Marshall 22. You're Jarvis and Howard back for the Cardinals. Here comes the kick. And it's end over end. It's going to be taken by Howard. He's at the 5. Starts up the middle, 10, 15, spins away out to the 20, maybe 21-yard line where the Cardinals will start out on this crucial offensive series. And Coldwater wants to move the chain at least a couple of times to keep it away from the Marshall defense. We'll see how much that touchdown fired up the Marshall defense. Let's look at the line of scrimmage, see if the Cardinals continue to get that excellent push that they've had here in the second half. It'll be Howard at quarterback for Coldwater.
Ball control right now, and hang on to it, baby.
Jarvis, Reed, McKean in there at the other running back. It'll be a handoff. And going nowhere is Reed with the carry. Jarvis, with the carry for the Cardinals. A little or no gain that time for Coldwater.
Boy, that play gets going slow, you know. But they busted that a couple of times. I think now they got a key on Reed. This might be a good time for...
and we've got McKean. McKean is in at
right.
The other running back.
Right, because Howard's a quarterback.
Yep. So actually a loss on that play. Call it second and 12. The ball back to the 20-yard line. Coldwater hanging on to a 24-22 lead with 4:57 and counting left here in the ball game.
There's Reed.
Reed has some room up the middle, and he's slammed down hard. It was out to the 27-28-yard line, and no, that was, it's Reed.
That's Reed.
So third down, big third down play now for the Cardinals. Huge third down play. Coldwater wants to keep that clock moving, keep the ball. 4:31 and counting out to the 27-yard line. It'll be third and a long 5, maybe 6 yards for Coldwater. Crowd on their feet.
Both sides. What a game. What a game.
Howard up to the line of scrimmage, looking over the defense. They're moving around a little bit. They're on their toes. Howard back to pass, has a man open on the side. Intercepted by number 1 for the Redskins. Has a beat toward the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Marshall.
20. That little guy's been up there all day long. All day long he's been there.
Ben Tappenden with the interception return for the Redskins. Cardinals will have just under 4 minutes to try and do something about that and to reclaim the lead, which was at 24-15 just a few minutes ago. Marshall quickly went down and scored, and now they attack with the defense. The interception by Tappenden, and they will go 4-2. Kelly up to the line of scrimmage. He rolls out, goes back up the middle, and struggles. He gets in. So a great effort by Kelly. Breaking a tackle at about the 2, gets into the end zone. So with 3:56 remaining, Marshall rallies The Redskins 30. Coldwater 24. Your Cargo gets ready to kick off for the Redskins. Jarvis and Howard back deep for the Cardinals. 3:56 remaining. A great ball game tonight at Cardinal Field between these two Twin Valley rivals. Here comes Cargo. Kicks it. High end over end. Who's going to take it? Howard. 15, 20, 25. A little bit of a seam out across the 30. Breaks another tackle out across the 35 to the 36. A nice run back by Howard, giving the Cardinals some room to operate on offense with 3:50 remaining in the ball game.
Here we go.
This is what it all comes down to. The best of high school football we've had here tonight. What a game. Comes down to the final 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
I tell you can't go away from here and say you haven't watched a football game.
Man.
Somebody's got to be nuts if they walk out here and say, well, you know what? This is the greatest football game in the world right here.
Howard, quarterback, up to the line of scrimmage for the Cardinals. And it's going to be Reed with the carry.
First down.
Oh, just great push in the middle of the line, out across the 45 to the 47, 48-yard line. They'll move the chains, pick up of just over 10 yards. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
Bolton's bringing the plays in there. What we're doing is shuffling the tight ends now because that'll save a little bit of time.
Jarvis, McKean, Reed lining up behind the quarterback.
We can break one. I'm telling you, we can break one. They're still packing them up in there.
Howard up to the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be Reed. Good yardage again on 1st down. Pickup of 6, maybe 7-yard line. Down to the 7 yards, down to about the Marshall 45-yard line. Plenty of time for the Cardinals.
I'm telling you what, you're looking at an all-conference running back right there. I don't care who's around here. And we better have some all-conference linemen on that thing too, man.
Great. This is the best we've had a crowd into the game, Doug, in a number of games here at Cardinal Field, and it's making a difference as the Cardinals will run. And it's going to be Jarvis.
First down.
Down to about the Marshall 41-yard line. So the Cardinals answering after the Marshall interception and touchdown, moving the ball, picking up their second first down on this series. Clock will stop momentarily while they move the chains. It's at 2:53. We're inside of Marshall territory now. The Cardinals will need to score. They're down by 6, 30-24. Won't that make for an exciting extra point? Here we go.
OT.
At the Marshall 41. And a little bit of a mix-up on a handoff, but Jarvis breaks free, and so he avoids a loss of yardage that time, as he could have lost 2, but instead it will be a positive gain of about 3, maybe 4. And, well, he's okay. I thought he was limping just a little bit, but it's okay. And the Cardinals are going to take a timeout. We'll take a break here. Full house backfield getting ready to go into action behind quarterback Doug Howard. Cardinals on the sidelines, trying to get the crowd pumped up to stay in the game. And it's going to be Reed, right side. Big pile up there at about the 35, down to about the 34-yard line.
Boy, they're not even going to let Howard have a chance to even think about keeping the ball. Every time he takes a step, there's somebody on him, and it's going to be awfully hard to run a pitch. If we even think about that.
Taggart leads him up to the line of scrimmage.
Need a first on this one.
3rd and 4. Big third down play for the Cardinals. Howard with the snap. Up the middle goes Reed. Breaks tackles. He's at the 30. Down to about the 25. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
Anthony gives the old first down signal there.
1:47. Do the Cardinals call another timeout? And then they do. And I just talking during the commercial. As far as an intense game going down to the last minute with a big rivalry, this has been the game in a number of years for the Cardinals.
You guys had the one where they lost to Lakeview, I believe, last year, and I wasn't at that ball game. This has been one of the most exciting games I've seen in 3 or 4 years, I'll tell you that.
1st and 10, Coldwater on the Marshall 24-yard line, sticking with the full house backfield behind Howard, and this will go to Jarvis. Has a couple of blockers out in front of him. And there's the guy again, Ben Tappenden, the guy who had the interception for the touchdown, uses his speed to catch Jarvis from behind and stretch out that play.
Takes time when you go wide, and you got to hustle and get back.
That time
the clock's running.
It is a factor now. 128, 127 and counting for the Cardinals. They're going to just...
Let's go. Get up there and snap it. They're not even ready. Let's go.
Up to the line of scrimmage.
Pop one in the middle. Pop one in the middle.
No huddle offense for the Cardinals.
Reed
pushes into the middle of the line, and this time good for a couple of yards down to the Marshall 20-yard line. So it'll set up third, and the Cardinals now burn a timeout. And that is their final timeout. Right now, every play is a big play with 1:08 left, and you're trailing by 6, and you're moving. You're in your enemy's territory. The Cardinals are just outside the red line. They're at the 21-yard line of Marshall. They break the huddle. We're ready for action. Howard up to the line of scrimmage. Takes the snap, comes here to the near side, running play inside the 20 down to about the 16, and it'll be short of the first down by about a couple of yards. So here it is, everything on the line now. 4th down for the Cardinals. Clock will continue to move. They have no more timeouts left. They're up to the line of scrimmage, getting ready, as is the Marshall defense. They have to go about 2 yards to pick up a first down. 4th and a long one, we'll call it, for the Cardinals. Howard looks at his backfield. He's up to the line of scrimmage. Let's get the push on the offensive line. Here comes the running play. It's going to be a pass. Howard up in the air, and it's going to be intercepted as the Cardinals try to surprise the Redskins with a pass. McKeon was out there at the Marshall 8-yard line. The ball is floated up in the air, and it was some good push on the defense as Howard was under pressure, let the ball go, and it's intercepted. Oh boy!
I mean, if he got away with it right away, it would have been a first down. But he had to hang it up, and Treese, the athlete he is, came over and jumped up and took the ball away from us for the interception.
So the gamble by the Cardinals trying to surprise Marshall doesn't work. They intercept. 2 interceptions here in the 4th quarter, really hurting the Cardinals as the Redskins come up to the line of scrimmage. An official timeout, 34 seconds remaining, and all Marshall has to do here with no Coldwater timeout is just snap it and go down on one knee, and which Kelly does, backs up 2 or 3 yards. He's down on the knee.
What a game. What a great game. A lot of dejected young people right down there, I'll tell you that. But what an effort with so many people, key people hurt.
And that'll be it. Clock will just now run out. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, and the Cardinals now heading out to the field. Going to have to shake the hands of these Redskins, knowing that they gave them a whale of a ball game. But Marshall now extends its winning streak over Coldwater to 12 straight games. They dodge a huge...
They don't even line up. This is great. They don't even line up to shake hands. They're just all in a bunch down there, boy. I tell you, that is sportsmanship, and they know they both played whales of ball game right there. Now they're getting in their line. That's fantastic. Hulkow's heart starting to beat again.